Manufai experience.
Festival, on behalf of the Education Department of Manufai District, I want to introduce you about our dear friends, the teachers from Australia, especially Mrs. Helen, Miss Martha, and Mr. Vic. They are coming here to help us about the maths program. You have to learn something from them in order to, whenever you go back to your school, you have to teach your student by using the experience that you get from our teacher from Australia. As you know, that this is important for you. Otherwise, the teachers only give the theory, but in fact, in the field, they don't practice, they don't use the theory. But what I'm expecting you to do, that whenever you finish this training, you go to school, you have to teach your student by using this experience and the method that you get from them.
Can everybody show me their left hand? Diak. So always find out from children what they already know about position, about left and right. Can we think of any other position words? We have left and right. Where am I? If I stand like this, I am behind. Did he say?
Yes.
Good. If I am standing here, I am next to? Good. Now? Yes. And still here? What did that? Excellent. If you have paper like this in the classroom, it's good to make a word bank like this with the words that you are using in your maths strand that you are teaching. So if it's position, have all the position words somewhere in your classroom so the children can always use them and refer to them.
Okay.
One of our tasks was to make it student-focused and meaningful for the students. And this is what we told the teachers at the very beginning. So when we were writing our workshops, we began with warm-ups. And warm-ups meant work with the hundreds chart and work with children being able to manipulate materials, learn about the patterns in number, and have fun. So let's start at, what number is this? 0. Good, class, good. So we must take 10 steps and see where we finish. You must count as I take each step. Ida. Dua, tolu, ha, lima, nen, itu, waru, sia, sanuru. Ida, rua, tolu, ha, lima, nen, itu, waru, sia, sanuru. Because they can now see the pattern, they don't have to jump every time. Yeah. They now know, if I count by 10, I can go this way.
0, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100.
When I first started to teach the workshops, my initial concerns were the language barrier. We were very fortunate to have 2 excellent translators in Sarmay, but I knew I couldn't go at the fast pace that I would normally go at home. It was short, brief sentences for the translator to be able to translate every minute or so to the class. Also, I know as I would teach the workshops, I would always consider, no, hold on, do they have access to these resources? How easy is it for them to prepare this lesson? The biggest breakthrough, I think, for me was when one of the teachers chose to ask us a question.
they wouldn't dare normally question our expertise or anything like that. And for a whole day we'd been saying, no, please do, please ask. If you have any questions or you don't understand, tell us. And this one elderly man didn't understand a certain concept that we'd introduced, and he put his hand up and he said, oh, look, you've shown us the posters with 1, 2 and 3, but they just don't understand what 3 is. You know, how do I teach my children what the value of 3 is or 4? And it was a basic answer like, well, you let them go outside and manipulate the objects and find you 4 objects. And he was just so stunned by that. He had never thought to do anything like that and had realised that, oh, this is such a simple way to teach my students quantity, and I've never been told about it, and I've been teaching, you know, for 4 or 5 years. And then once that man asked us that first question, we had questions fired at us every day after that, and to me that was the biggest breakthrough.
So we did lots of games, we did lots of songs which we had learnt in Teton, so the teachers enjoyed that and were laughing, and it was wonderful.
One of the workshops that stood out for me was an addition and subtraction workshop. It was very basic. The teachers traced their hands on a piece of paper, had 10 fingers on the cardboard. They had to get 10 stones, and they had a dice. And we were teaching them the link between addition and subtraction and how it can be taught in the one lesson. And they would roll the dice, whatever number they rolled, they would collect that many stones, put them on the fingers of the game board, of the hands, and basically it was the first person to get to 10.
I think one of the most enlightening activities we did was to introduce the place value chart. We had so many different ideas, but the one that hit the spot was to use satay skewers and torn up pieces of paper. And it worked like a dream.
In the ones column,
Yeah,
5 in the
in the ones column. Okay. Ira.
So how much have I got now? This is called a tens. One of these is a 1. Is this a 10?
It was the first time in the lesson we saw the teachers' lights come on, and the teachers, actually one teacher said, I have never had a maths lesson before in my life, let alone having a maths lesson like this.
An exciting lesson to teach for me was 2D shapes, and we started off with a touchy-feely bag where we would call out a teacher and they would put their hand in the bag and pull out a shape and try and describe the shape. Can you describe your shape? We worked on shapes and did some activities inside the classroom. Then we went outside and with a stick we drew a 2D shape in the dirt. They have to draw a shape in the dirt. And any shape. Circle, square, triangle, rectangle. Now, can they find anything around them that looks like that shape? Can you ask him to show me something that looks like his square? Ah, the bell. Ah, capaz los. And Ramos, can you tell them
we are always trying to relate things to the real world, to the everyday experiences. So we've come out, we've drawn the shape, and we want to see where can we see circles, squares, triangles. It's very important.
Well, as well as the workshops, or to actually illustrate what was happening in the workshops, we were fortunate to have a DVD which we were able to take to Timor with us.
So we got some resources from Timor, got them down here, went to work with some Indigenous kids, and we prepared a lesson, videoed it, got it translated into Tatum, and then put some subtitles in, and we sent it up to Balcow, to the Teachers College, and those people said it was a real goer. The only other problem we had then was, how do you show DVDs where you've got no electricity? We were able to get 7 laptops, and those laptops we showed the DVD. The other problem we had was sound, because we couldn't have any electricity for speakers. So we thought, okay, we've got headphones. So we had some headphones in Sarmay, and we saw 25 teachers sitting there with headphones on, listening intently and watching these DVD. It was a great moment to see how they could get another picture of what to do, how to approach this new style of teaching, and especially the things like the warm-up lessons and the fun and the singing, and we didn't do any dancing, but we should have. We felt like it sometimes. But it was just a fantastic, enjoyable and energising experience to work with these people.